G'day. Well, here we are, day 26 in Sarria by Rio Sarria, a slowly and gently shallow moving river through the city. Just the pace at which it flows gives it a reflective view. It just has beautiful reflections all the way down the river. Further down there are geese and ducks. And the beautiful thing about, I think, the reflections in the river give us also time to stop and reflect. It's only been a 18-kilometre walk from Triacastela to here today. We could have gone a 28-kilometre walk through Samos. There's a choice when you come through Triacastela. We took the more mountainous one, and it was just beautiful walking through the forests. Most of the trees have shed their leaves now, and so we were walking on a carpet of golden leaves. Well, perhaps some of them were rotting, so they were brown, but and through the pasture lands, we moved and saw the valley and the cloud cover in the valley beneath us. Had we gone the other way, the Samos way, there's a monastery at Samos. It's more a river valley walk, again with beautiful views, we are told. You might only make it to Samos and stay there at the monastery, which is quite wonderful, and they provide food there, etc. Stay overnight and then walk on to Sarria. So there's two choices. As I said, we took the shorter course, and here we are in Sarria. Now we're only 114 kilometres from Santiago right now. This is a starting point for so many people. In fact, we know that tomorrow when we set out from here, the number of pilgrims is going to probably double, maybe even triple, just to get the last 100 kilometres in order to be able to get the de Compostela, the actual certificate at Santiago, that the walk has been completed at least 100 kilometres. Interestingly, about 430,000 pilgrims have passed this way this year already. Here it is, the end of November 2023. So you can see the increasing popularity of Camino. The walk today, as I said, was just a beautiful walk through the mountains, looking down the valley, seeing the cloud cover sitting in the valley. And of course, we then descended into that and spent the last 4 or 5 kilometres walking through the fog, which had a mystique of its own, of course. There's not much to mention about Sarria. It was established at the end of the 11th and the beginning of the 12th century. The end of the 12th and the beginning of the 13th century by King Alfonso IX of Leon and Galicia. And he established it, guess why? To minister to pilgrims on the way through. As a matter of fact, there's the Monasterio de Medellina, which was built in the 13th century to cater for pilgrims. And you know what? It's an albergue to this day. So you could stay there in the 13th century monastery. How many pilgrims, I wonder, through the centuries have stayed there since? Isn't it a wonderful thought to walk in, as I said, the shadow of pilgrims gone before us? That's one of the beauties and the wonders of walking the Camino. There's a castle, or the remains of a castle. Many churches in Sarria, because of the fact that it was built to minister to the pilgrims, and in years gone by, masses were said there daily and regularly for the pilgrims. Our reflection today was Ignatius's 9th rule, and there he was talking, why, God, do you allow these spiritual desolations? Notice that Ignatius asked the question allow and not cause, because he is very clear that it is the evil one who causes the desolations, but it is God who is able to use them against his enemy if we respond in the right way. And so coming out of desolation, how can we value it? Recognizing, well, God, you've allowed it for a reason. He may have allowed it because of the fact that we've got into some kind of spiritual complacency. And in that, the devil will come in and, of course, cast us down, depress us, make us see the negative side, and so go into a spiritual desolation. On the other hand, it can be an opportunity for patience and growth, where God takes the desolation to teach us some things and to draw us through. So, and of course also they may come from circumstances. Whatever the reason is, God is allowing the desolation so that we can grow. We can exercise patience. We can know that this is coming to an end. We can be calling upon that abundant grace that Jesus has, and can be entering into that spirit of the fruit of self-control to say, yes, I'm not going to go to my iPhone, not going to go to this app or this movie or that movie. No, I am going to take the time to do my spiritual devotion, to meditate, to pray with Scripture, to sit before the Lord and let his face shine upon me, and for me to be able to see him. So that's that's his 9th rule. God allows these things, and if we respond well to them, then he is able to use it against the devil who causes it. Our spiritual meditation from Scripture, was the Matthew account of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, having gone up there and taken the 3 disciples, Peter, James and John, to watch and pray. But of course, as so easily happens to all of us, the flesh overcomes the spirit, and they fell asleep, leaving Jesus to really struggle with what it was that was before him. I mean, the cross was absolutely huge as any human being could ever face, and far more. Isn't it good to know, even as we might struggle, to be able to say yes to God's will, perhaps to the crosses that we have to carry, whatever they may be, the things that we would rather not happen in our lives or have to do in our lives, but to be able to recognize, well, God, this is your will, and I will accept it joyfully. Now, as I say, it takes time so often to struggle through the resistances of our flesh and our will. Jesus himself had to go through that. So we don't come into condemnation when we're struggling with submitting to God's will. We continue to move through. And at the same time, recognize that we can get to a place where, yes, okay, God, I will do your will. And then we find that going tough and we slip back and we start complaining again. well, I suppose that's back in desolation, isn't it? It's from that place that we remember, well, just a minute, even on Gethsemane, Jesus for 3 hours came to that point of saying, if it's possible, lift this from me, but if not, nevertheless, your will be done, Father. So, yeah, just what little or big crosses might you need to be carrying at present and be asking that question of God? Well, thank you for listening again. We'll be back tomorrow to walk from Sarria to Porto Marin. And we're going in the meantime just to enjoy the peace and quiet of Sarria. God bless you.